What's going on, everybody? Well, I figured while I sit here and take pictures, I'll answer some questions I've been getting, so I can knock out two birds with one stone. How about that? And we can just talk about whatever. I don't even know what this shirt is. Oh, it's a travel type of shirt. Okay, I got it. Cool. Let's see, some of the questions I got wrote down. I've been taking questions off of YouTube. And when somebody asks me, and I just write them down, and then figure I'll eventually do a question video, so might as well do it while I work. So the first question was, what's my opinion on storing items in poly bags? Personally, I think it's a waste of time and a waste of money. How much does each bag cost? How bad do you want to grow your store? I mean, if you're only working, if your goal is to be perfectly neat about everything and you don't want to have thousands and thousands of items, knock yourself out. If you're trying to grow and do things efficiently and quick and on a budget so you don't spend all your profits, it's a waste of money, a waste of time. What I do is just store them in a tote, and just like this, fold them up, and then I've got some those wire shelves. I'll stack them in those. Each one of them is numbered. Anything beyond that, it's just a waste of time and money. It doesn't really make any sense. The way I work is I try to be efficient with everything. Like, I have a routine that I squeeze every ounce, every second I can out of it, out of the day, or the hour, or whatever the case may be. Even talking while I'm doing this is slowing me down, and it's kind of throwing me off. But I have a process, and what I try to do is eliminate things in the process to make it go quicker, not add more things on, and not only add more things on, but add more costs on. And it's not really business smart to slow yourself down with added cost when it's not necessary. Now, if you want to make it look nice for your customers, then I would suggest not storing them in poly bags, clear poly bags, or however you do. Do it as before you ship. If you want to double bag your items when you ship, do it then, because then you're not wasting time on items that's just sitting on the shelves not selling. It's almost like if you sell CDs and you have a resurfacing machine, you don't want to resurface all those CDs before you list them. You do it as they sell, because if you do anything before you sell it, you're wasting time and money. Now, if you want to make it look pretty or do this or do that, wait till it sells and then take that added extra step if you wish. But doing it beforehand is, who's to say, especially say you got 1,000 t-shirts up and you do it to all 1,000 t-shirts. Well, how long are those t-shirts going to sit around on your shelf? That's tied up money that you just threw away for what? So it can look pretty sitting on your shelf? So it doesn't really make sense. Another question was, how do I ship my hats, poly bags or boxes? The way I do it is this. If the hat is under $10, it goes in a poly bag. unless it's like a a nice looking trucker hat that will probably get damaged that way. Then I'll throw it in a little box. Anything over $10 goes straight into a box, just because the person invested some decent money in this hat, so I want to protect it as it travels. And we know how crappy the postal service can be when they freaking throw stuff around. See, threw me off. I didn't get a whole front shot. Threw me off. So that's how I do my hats. Let's see. What other questions? How do I get so cheap merchandise? Well, if you watched all my videos, you would know that I get a lot of my stuff from the Goodwill bins. And I see a lot of people saying, and also too, I love buying in bulk. When I say, I've got a lot of contacts around St. Louis for various different things, whether it's music or, cassettes or whatever the case may be. When I go to buy from them, I want to fill my truck up in 3 loads. I want to buy as much as I can, because it's much easier to get cheap items when you buy in bulk, obviously. $3,000 sounds like a lot of money to somebody. And if you're getting, 30,000 items in return, then everybody's happy. So buy in bulk or spend time at the Goodwill bins. And I know a lot of, people are saying that, that you're nowhere near a Goodwill bins or anything like this, but they are worth a trip. They are worth a weekend trip if you're within say a 5-hour drive of one. At least the ones around here. Indiana's good, I know for a fact. Test them all out and see, if it's worth it. I've been to, obviously, the ones here, and I think these are the best ones that I've been to. I've been to Indiana's, which I would consider second best. I went to one in Tennessee, but it was near Nashville, but it was closing. It was about a month away from closing when I went. But they didn't do everything by the pound. They did everything for $1 or something like that. But they were closing. I went to one in Arizona, which was weird. They were just in these big, deep things you had to really dig through. And that was before I was really into the clothing, so I don't know how well it was for that type of stuff. That's when I was mostly into the music and stuff like that. And I've been to, I don't know if it's in Arkansas or something, down south a little bit from Missouri. I was traveling somewhere on a dealer trade one time when I was doing dealer trades. And I stopped at one along the way. I think it was in Arkansas. For extra money, I would do dealer trades. They pay you $10 an hour to drive somewhere, drop off a car, and drive another car back. Well, I used that as a way to source. So I was driving somebody else's car, getting paid for it. I would stop and at any thrift stores or flea markets or anything along the way, load up the car that I'm bringing back, stop at my house, drop it all off first before I drop the car off. So it was a good way to source the travel, and not put miles on your car and get paid to do it on top of it. So it was like a win-win. So that was some good times. Where other ones have I been to? I know I've been to other ones. I just can't think of them offhand. But out of the ones I've been to, I think St. Louis is the best, and Indiana is second. So they're definitely worth. St. Louis is definitely worth a weekend trip if you were to say leave on a Friday, spend the weekend at a hotel. If you do the type of stuff I do, where you're not just looking for all collectibles, you're looking for bread and butter also. And I'll explain my bread and butter to you if you would like. Because the way I do it is I like to have a baseline of product that's going to be something I can consistently get and it will consistently sell, and you're not tying a lot of money up into it, and it's not something everybody's grabbing, so it's abundant. You can just grab whatever. So that's like these t-shirts you're seeing me take pictures of. You're probably like, huh, what's that? What the hell was that? That's my bread and butter. It used to be music. When I was doing all music, CDs were my bread and butter, because that was the last format that everybody was buying before streaming. And once that slowed down, I had to find a new bread and butter. So I made the switch to t-shirts and hats. Hats you can get pretty much anywhere, whether it's flea markets, yard sales, thrift stores. Hats and or t-shirts and hats, they're abundant. They're everywhere. Literally, I could go out and fill my truck daily with just those two items alone, hats and t-shirts, and have unlimited supply of them. So that's why I use those as my bread and butter. Hold on, I gotta make my next 9 copies. So see, because I'm about building a foundation. I'm not there. There are people who will sit over at the Goodwill bins all day long, just looking for vintage concert T-shirts, vintage Guess, whatever the case may be, and they'll spend 6, 8, 10 hours over there doing that. And the thing about that is it may be working depending on their situation. But for my situation, it doesn't work for me. I'm the person who would prefer to go over there. I could literally, which I think I'm going to make more of these videos, where I made the one where 30 minutes in eBay bin or the Goodwill bins can get you. You can check out that video if you haven't. Because I can literally go in there for an hour and I can walk out with a cart full of stuff, spend $100 that I could turn into, $5, $6, $7, $8, $9, $10,000. It may take a while to sell, but I'm not looking for stuff that I have to flip in, the first week or the first month. I have a situation. I have a. Hear the walnuts falling? I have just a whole, I guess business plan, the way I buy and the way I work stuff. And like I'll buy these shirts here, spend as little time over there as possible. I do have a friend that will grab some stuff for me too, so in that 30-minute video you'll see that. So I could spend an hour over there and grab 500 items. Now 500 might be more like 2 hours, but so my process is obviously take the pictures. I separate t-shirts with t-shirts, hoodies with hoodies, and so on and so forth, so that it's easier and quicker to list and put up, take pictures of, so you stay consistent. They go into the store. They go in the store at $12.99, unless it's something on more of a collectible item. If it's a certain Harley shirt or whatever the case may be, a concert t-shirt, a vintage shirt, whatever. Those will obviously go for more. Then what I do is I'll run a sale. I run pretty much a sale all month long on everything. And I just feel it gives you better placement on eBay. And when I list them, I put them in a folder for the month I'm listing. So this shirt right here will go into my t-shirt folder in my eBay store, and it'll go into my November 2019 folder. So then what I do, if this item's still sitting, I'll go through my folder when it's 6 months old. So every month I go through a folder. I'll see how many items are in there, and I'll do a markdown. I'll do a markdown and knock the price way down on them. I do about 25% is what I do. And, whoops. My sister's texted me. I'll answer that in a little bit, but I'll do a markdown. And also, too, what you gotta remember, too, if you watch my videos, is whenever I go out to source, I try to find those 1, 2, 3, 4 items, whatever the case may be, that's going to get me my money back real quick. So if I go over to the bins and I drop $100, I'm not leaving till there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items in there that's going to make me my entire money back and make it back quick. So when I get home, when I process my order, separate them and all that good stuff, I'll take those few high dollar items out that I think is going to move quick, going to give me my money back quick, and I'll get them up right then and there, so that hopefully I can get my money back, my $100 back within the 24-hour period. Then I don't have to worry about the rest. It can sit in my store for a year. All of it could sit in my store for a year. It wouldn't matter because I've got my money back on that merchandise, and I can go reinvest it into more merchandise. Chances are, when you have that much product, you're going to make money. I haven't done it in a while, but I would every month take my numbers of what I made. I spent X amount in November. How much did I make back of that at the end of November? Then how much did I make in December off of November? How much did I make in January off of November? So I used to do that for every month. And let me tell you, you're always going to be selling something if you know what you're picking, and even if you're picking just what looks like generic stuff to you, it's going to sell. It's going to sell one way or another. You're going to make your money back within the first month normally, if not the first week, if not the first day. And then everything else after that is profit. So you could literally mark it down to $1 and move it if you had to, just to move it. So what I do is, after 6 months, I'll drop it 25%. I'll run another sale. After another 6 months, if it's been there for a year, I'll drop it another 25%. Then I'll put it at like 30% off on top of it after that. If it's still in there after that, after the 16th month, when eBay flags you and says this item hasn't, I'll drop it down to like $1.99 just to move it. And when you've got under 50 cents in it at the bins, you're still going to make a little bit of money on it. But on that lot as a whole, you've already made you've already 10 times, 15 times your money back on that entire lot by then. So it doesn't really matter. And if you don't even want to waste your time into that, just pull them out of the store and freaking donate them back, if it ain't worth your time to sell them for $2. So that's what I kind of do. So hopefully that answered those few questions, but I'll go ahead and end this since we're already 20 minutes in, so I can get on a roll and get these things rolling. But if you have any questions, other questions, leave them below. And maybe once a week, if I get enough questions, I'll do these videos. So you can watch me list. You can watch me work. That's a repeat. Repeat. See, I love this stuff. I love this stuff. Oh shit! Did that rip? Nah, it just sounded like it ripped. Oh, I bent it is what I did. If you look in my eBay store, I'll give you some more information while I'm still doing this. When it comes to shirts, I buy in categories. I buy travel, so that's like souvenir type of style, or restaurants, stuff like that that's in other states. Hard Rock cafes, obviously. Anything transportation related, cartoon related. So if you kind of stick with like a broad generic interpretation and just grab everything under that category, you're going to be okay. So say, I don't know what to grab with shirts. Well, pick, say, transportation. Anything you see with a car, a Jeep, a truck, for a t-shirt for under 50 cents, you grab it. Just grab it, and you can cater to those type of buyers. Like I grab all Cardinal stuff, and I have constant repeat buyers who come in and buy Cardinal t-shirts from me. I have repeat buyers that come in and buy travel stuff from me. I have repeat buyers that come by just to buy generic t-shirts from me that just have generic sayings on them. So if you find a category and you concentrate on that category, you're going to build your customer base for people who look for that category also. So hopefully that all made sense. And now I'll go so I can get some work done. So thanks everybody. If you got some questions, leave them below. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, so I can keep growing this channel. And catch you later.